When you're an Aboriginal kid growing up in Casino with a population of only 10,000, they don't expect you to do this. They don't expect you to leave or you to play footy. They don't expect you to play one NRL game, let alone 150 games. But a parent does. They expect you to do your best, follow the Walker legacy with your heart on your sleeve. Be the one to do it. Mum, she was there every step of the way, supporting you, saying, you choose your own life. You want to do it, you do it. You could always count on them. Parents who did everything to make you the man you are today. Yeah, a lot of different emotions are going through my head. It's not very often I reflect on my journey and what sort of happened in that journey, but to look at that photo, it's quite lucky to have people like that in my life. We weren't rich with money or having everything as young kids. I'm the youngest of 4 brothers, so I've got a lot of hand-me-downs. But one thing we done was my parents made sure that, if there was a footy game, rep game, trial game, 3-4 hours away, that I never missed one. So they just found a way to get me there. Started playing when I was 5 years old. From a very young age, that's all we sort of knew was footy. There was no other sport that took over our childhood quite like footy. So in the country area, I made a lot of rep teams, and I always knew I had the talent. Was whether I'd be committed, disciplined, and want it bad enough. I think that was a question that a lot of people asked as my career went on. But I always knew that my mum and dad knew that this is what they expected me to do, was to be in this position. Yes, there's been a fair bit of adversity throughout my career, but one thing I've done is pick myself back up and go again. That's all our people have known. With all the adversity that we've faced, thousands and thousands of years, as an Aboriginal man, it's ingrained in us, it's in our blood. You learn from those sort of things that happen in your life, and you make sure you make positive change for future generations. And I think my dad done that from a young age to me. And the lessons that he's taught me as a young kid growing up in a country area, he would have faced a lot of racism. He was 10 years old before he was classed as a human being, let alone be able to vote. So just the issues that he would have faced as a young kid, but still be working full time. Both my parents worked full time, 9-to-5 job, worked extremely hard to put food on the table. Those sacrifices that they made, obviously I probably didn't appreciate it at such a young age. I just thought it was quite normal. But as you sort of grow up and have kids of your own, you understand the importance of what your parents actually do for you. And so as I got older, I made sure that they understood that they're a big reason why I'm sitting here playing rugby league for a living, living out a childhood dream that they've supported me through. So whatever decision I wanted to make, I made sure I gave them a call and said, this is what I'm thinking. Their answer or their chat to me was always, whatever you want to do, son, you do it. And I think that was really important, that whether it was a mistake, that they actually let me make that mistake to learn from it in the future. So those are the qualities that I try and bring out in my own parenting, because I think it's an important quality to have as a parent, that our kids are able to make mistakes but also learn from them as they go.
Stars of the game, and Inglis, Burgess, Reynolds and Cody Walker, a new name as well. He might put his name up in lights by full time today.
It's quite crazy how it's all worked out now, but back then it was round 1, 2016. I think it might have been the 6th of March at SFS Stadium. Semis return game, playing with Greggy, playing with John Sutton, all these superstars of the game, Adam Reynolds, and then opposing the big fella next to me. It's quite crazy how the journeys brought us together and created this bond like I suppose no other. We're locker buddies now. Looking back 6 years ago, you never thought that would happen, but the relationship that we've built over the time he's been here, it's quite quite an amazing journey, and I'm glad he's next to me. I'm glad he's not on the other side. I still remember the morning of the game that I had all my family in this 2-bedroom apartment in Matraville, and sorting tickets and everything like that. And I tried to escape that part of it, but you can't escape it when your family are there. And I quite enjoy having the laughter, the kids' laughter, and that inside my house. So. They were only young kids, my 2 boys, so they just ran around stupid. They didn't understand what was happening. But yeah, just the overall excitement of I finally did it was quite a great journey. Yeah, it's quite a great moment that I was able to bring out all my family down to a game. Over the last couple of years, my sons have been ball boys at games. It's quite a unique situation where they're able to witness what I'm doing right in the flesh, you know what I mean? Running along the sideline and doing things in games, that scoring tries or whatever, and shaking my young lad's hand, like that's crazy. That's those things that really stick out to me, that you're able to share that journey with some pretty important people in my life that have changed my way of thinking. Having kids of my own has really flicked a switch in me to realise that selfishness just can't happen when your kids depend on you. 150 games for a club that's given me every sort of opportunity. It's I suppose you don't realise how much I don't know, just lost for words. To debut at 26 at a club that's been kicked out of the comp, the richest and proudest team in the league. It's quite a reflection on my journey, I suppose. I've had so much ups and downs throughout my journey, but I'm always fighting to be there in the end. And to wear these colours, it's a pretty big moment. And to play 150, yeah, it's quite incredible. And to be able to share it with my kids, they're going to be ball boys on the day. Yeah, it's crazy.